Hello friends, welcome to the session on amplifiers. In this session, we'll be discussing about parameters of operational amplifier. In this session, we will discuss what we mean by the concept of virtual ground. We will see the various parameters that are associated with operational amplifier, such as input offset voltage, offset current, bias currents, and the slew rate of the operational amplifier. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, Learn with Prakash Khanade, and do subscribe to the channel to see more videos on the subjects of electronics and computer science. So we know that operational amplifier is a very popular IC, and this is a basic building block for any analog circuit. That is, whenever we want to build up any analog circuit, then it is possible to build this analog circuit by making the use of operational amplifier. In this diagram, we have seen the popular IC741, and this is the equivalent circuit for this IC741. We know that in case of operational amplifier, there are two inputs, and the inputs are non-inverting input and inverting input, and the output is only a single-ended output. This operational amplifier will require a three-terminal power supply, positive, ground, and negative. The performance of the operational amplifier or the quality of the operational amplifier is being judged by its parameters or the different characteristics that are associated with the operational amplifier. Various parameters of the operational amplifier will also decide the use of the operational amplifier in different applications. You will find that there are various parameters that are associated with the operational amplifier. Say, for example, the concept of virtual ground, input offset voltage, input offset current, input bias current, and the slew rate are the most commonly used parameters in case of operational amplifier. In this session, we will see what we mean by virtual ground, and we will also see the definitions of the different parameters such as input offset voltage, input offset current, input bias current, and slew rate. And we will also see how this parameter will affect the working of operational amplifier. So the first parameter or the first concept that we are going to discuss is the concept of virtual ground. Suppose we have been given an operational amplifier, and we know that the operational amplifier has two inputs. One is the inverting input, another is the non-inverting input. Let us suppose that this non-inverting input is grounded, and suppose some input is being applied to the inverting input through the resistance R1. And suppose there is some feedback resistance RF is connected between the inverting input and output of the operational amplifier. Then you will find that we are in a position to define this concept of virtual ground. Virtual ground of the operational amplifier is a phenomenon in which one of the input terminal of the operational amplifier will have a zero terminal voltage, even if that terminal is actually not connected to the ground. So as shown in this diagram, the inverting input terminal of the operational amplifier is said to be at virtual ground. Observe that this terminal is actually not connected to the ground, but here the non-inverting terminal of the operational amplifier is connected to the ground. So even if this terminal is not connected to the ground, if you measure the voltage at this point, you will find that this voltage is almost equal to zero. So as we observe in this diagram that the non-inverting terminal of the operational amplifier is connected to the ground. And we know that in case of operational amplifier, the voltage at inverting input and the voltage at non-inverting input is almost same. We know that the input impedance of the operational amplifier is very, very high, and therefore these two voltages are almost same. That is, we can say that the voltage at inverting input, suppose it is indicated by V plus, it is equal to V minus, that is the voltage at inverting input. So voltage at non-inverting input and voltage at inverting input are same. So when the V plus is equal to 0, then we can say that V minus is also equal to 0. That is, this point is said to be at virtual ground. And hence we can conclude that in case of inverting input, the voltage is almost equal to 0 and it is said to be at virtual ground. So this concept of virtual ground is very useful, and you will find that later on whenever we analyze the circuits using operational amplifier, then the analysis of the op-amp circuits will be easier by making the use of this concept of virtual ground. Now let us go for understanding what we mean by the input offset voltage of the operational amplifier. Suppose we have been given an operational amplifier and both the inputs of the operational amplifier are connected to the ground. That is, the inverting input is connected to the ground and the non-inverting input of the operational amplifier is also connected to the ground. So when both the inputs are grounded, naturally we can expect the output to be equal to 0. But in practice, you will find that the output will not be equal to 0, and this is because of some voltage that is being present between the input terminals of the operational amplifier. When the input to the operational amplifier is 0, then its output must be equal to 0. But in practice, we may get certain output, and we are getting this certain output because of the circuit imbalance. Input offset voltage, which is being written as VOS, is the DC voltage that must be applied to the input to make the output of the operational amplifier equal to 0 when its inputs are 0. Due to input offset voltage in open loop circuit, op-amp may be driven into saturation. So it is possible that in case of open loop circuit, the gain of the operational amplifier is very, very high. And because of this offset voltage, there are chances that the operational amplifier will go into saturation. In case of closed loop circuit, a very small input may not be properly amplified by the operational amplifier. So these are the two drawbacks that we will observe because of this input offset voltage. Input offset voltage is very small, and if you practically measure it, then you will find that it will be certain millivolts. So normally in case of IC 741, this input offset voltage is in the range of 1 to 10 millivolt. So as shown in this diagram, the gain of the operational amplifier or the output of the operational amplifier can be given as gain multiplied by the difference between the two inputs. But when the difference between the two inputs is equal to 0, then we can expect the output to be equal to 0. But it is not the case, and therefore we need to add this voltage VOS so that we will get the certain amount of output voltage. Now this VOS must be adjusted such that we will get the output equal to 0. Now we will define one more parameter of the operational amplifier, and this parameter is being called as the input offset current. Suppose we have been given an operational amplifier and we know that operational amplifier has two inputs. One input is called as the inverting input, another input is called as the non-inverting input. Suppose some voltage is being applied to the inverting input and some voltage is being applied to the non-inverting input. Then certain amount of bias current will flow through the inverting input, and suppose this is IB minus, and certain amount of bias current will flow through the non-inverting input, and suppose it is IB plus. Operational amplifier has two inputs, and therefore there are two input bias currents, and these bias currents will flow through the input terminals of the operational amplifier. The values of the two bias currents may not be the same, so they may be different from each other. Input offset current is defined as the difference between these two input bias currents. That is, we write the input offset current IOS is equal to IB plus minus IB minus. So IB plus is the bias current that is flowing through the non-inverting terminal, and IB minus is the bias current that is flowing through the inverting terminal. So if you take the difference between these two currents, then the current that we'll get is called as the input offset current. Input offset current is also very small, and in case of operational amplifier, you will find that this current is in nano amperes, that is 10 to the power minus 9 amperes. Now we will go for the discussion of another parameter of operational amplifier, and this parameter is being called as the input bias currents. As shown in this diagram, suppose we have an operational amplifier which has two terminals, inverting input and non-inverting input. When the voltages are applied, then certain amount of bias current will flow through the inverting input terminal, and certain amount of bias current will flow through the non-inverting input terminal. Operational amplifier has two inputs and there are two input bias current that will flow through the input terminals of the operational amplifier. The values of these two bias currents may not be same and they may be different from each other. Input bias current is defined as the average of these two input bias currents. That is, we will define the input bias current IB is equal to IB plus IB minus divided by 2. So when we sum these two bias currents that are flowing into the inverting input and non-inverting input of the operational amplifier, and then when we divide it by 2, then we will get the current, and this current is being called as the input bias current IB. Input bias current is also very small in case of operational amplifier, and if you practically measure it, then you will find that it will be in microamperes. Now we will go for the discussion of another parameter that is being associated with the operational amplifier, and this parameter is being called as a slew rate. The slew rate of the operational amplifier is defined as the maximum rate of change of output voltage with respect to the time. That is, we write the slew rate is equal to max of dVo upon dt, where dVo will represent the change in the output voltage and dt will represent the change in the time. Slew rate, whenever we want to measure, then we measure it and we express it in volt per microsecond. Slew rate will impose the limitations on the maximum input signal frequency to which operational amplifier can respond. Say for example, suppose we have applied a square input to the operational amplifier. When we applied a square input to the operational amplifier, we expect the output to get changed. But you will find that the output will take certain amount of time to respond to the input. That is, output will not change as fast as input. So there will be some time delay. This time delay is being measured in the form of slew rate. And therefore we define the slew rate as the rate of change of output voltage with respect to the time. The typical value of the slew rate, you will find that is 0.5 volt per microsecond. So slew rate is an important parameter because it will decide what input signal frequency that can be applied to the input so that the operational amplifier will respond properly. If the change in the input is higher than the slew rate, then you will find that you may get a distorted output. So if you do not want to have a distorted output, then in such a case, this parameter plays a very important role. Thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood certain parameters that are associated with the operational amplifier. In our next session, we will see or we will go for the different applications of operational amplifier. Thank you all for viewing the session.